I've been asked an interesting question, so let's pull cards on Jack Ruby. What can you tell me about Jack Ruby? Now we know that he shot Oswald, so what can you tell me about Jack Ruby? Okay, we have guidance, and underneath of it, transition. Guidance in the transition. Visioning. Okay, so somebody was putting him up to it. This was not his own idea. It doesn't look to be. Somebody in an organization gave him the word. So let's see what else we have when it comes to Jack Ruby. I think we're going to pull these other ones first. Okay. Get the Lenormand and see what we have with that. Okay, so it's the doorway. It was a doorway and order. Okay, he was ordered to do it. It was a doorway. He must have owed big. Also could be a doorway to fame as well, get well known, but also he was guided to that transition to take him out, and he was ordered to go through that doorway. Okay. So let's see what else we have. At the center of it, we have the Pandora's box. Trying to keep a lid on things because Oswald was trying to talk. We need to shut him up quick. Above it, we had this loss, keeping things in reserve, and underneath of it, the family. Okay, so it looks like he was ordered by one of his families, connection, mafioso, to go do the hit. So when it comes to the Pandora's box, yeah, you need to go do this and get us out of this choppy waters, okay? Because mentally, about justice, we cannot have this come out. And Oswald will talk. So the challenge is the manipulation. Make this go away. Okay? Because we have long-term interest in this. Okay? That's the Pandora's box. We cannot let the lid off of this one. When it comes to loss, they have a lot of interests going on up in the air. There are deaths, there's money, all sorts of things, and the challenge is about holding on to power. Now we have that woman come up again. Okay, so what is behind that? I don't know. I don't know if we had some people there from a foreign interest as well running mafia stuff. We'll see. When it comes to the family, they didn't like what was coming out. Okay, the harvest. And so you need to take care of us and get us a victory. Okay? It's about going forward. So let's take these down and look at it again. We had the Pandora's box. We're facing loss. You need to take care of the family. Okay? Because we have all these things up in the air. All of these interests. And we don't like what's come down, the harvest of this. We don't like it. And we need to protect things for long term. We need to make this go away. We need to get to calmer waters. Okay? You need, because of justice, this needs to make it go away. We don't want a trial. We do not want this information coming out in the courts. Make it disappear. Okay? And so this is, whoever this is, interest is, it could be a foreign power holding on to it, wanting the victory. Okay? Now we had that come out, I think, in the reading with JFK and things too. So that's an interesting reading. There is some sort of a perhaps foreign power also involved in this. And I believe also that Lyndon Johnson had a hand in it too. Let's put cards on Lyndon Johnson as long as we're doing this. But Jack Ruby, that was interesting. We had transition and guidance about it. Guidance about doing this transition. You need to make it go away. Okay? I don't know why people want to get into mafia, get into those types of things. It usually does not end well. Okay? So Lyndon B. Johnson, receptive. He was open to it. And confidence. Okay? Now we have the woman of confidence again. Woman. But he was receptive. He was open to it. I don't know who he's talking to behind the scenes. But yeah. All right, let's do our other two cards and see what we have going into it. What's kind of underneath of this. We have a sacrifice. Need to sacrifice him. Also could go for JFK too, you know, the killing of JFK and the whole thing, and Lyndon B. Johnson, sacrifice him. Okay. And we have innovation. Okay. So they came up with a plan. They came up with a plan to sacrifice JFK, set up Oswald, and have Ruby was leaned on to take him out. Gets sticky, doesn't it? So let's see what it comes up. The cards come up for Johnson. At the center of it, investigating. Looking deeper. Now I think instead of doing the higher and the lower things, we're going to just go across and see what we have. In the past, the investigation, looking at, you know, sometimes this can be government and those in the know. Going to, the payoff. The payoff. Okay. The payoff. The challenge is the mental pain that's going to cause a lot of people because they were really into, the mental pain with the death of JFK. Okay. So he was investigating, looking into this deeper. He was coordinating with other people in the government, somebody there in the know, and it got a payoff, okay? And was looking at the pain of this, that they were taking him out, okay? So above it, he had, he's got to carry that burden, but that was him looking for a way forward, okay? And the challenge was for him to stay in power, to gain power. So underneath of it, we have the judgment coming in the past, rapidly coming. Take care of this rapidly so he could get in the White House. The challenge was to get White House. Move it forward. So again, we're going to look at this. He looked at it, investigated it, made a judgment call, was with other people in the government. They were making the plan for his death. Okay. Here was the burden of carrying this, but this was his way forward, and it wanted to see it rapidly so he could get in the White House. Wow. The death was going to cause a lot of pain to a lot of people, but his payoff for that was position of power. Oh my goodness. And again, underneath of it, he was receptive. So who the woman is, we have the woman again, confidence with this. Who was it? Who was it? I don't think it was China back then, unless it had to do with just, Russia, China, Cuba, those type of elements. Something in there with those. Now we know that there were covert things, I guess, with JFK, wanted to take Castro out, and that was a failed thing. So maybe that also had something to do with it. And maybe they had these things going also with mafioso as well, other dealings underneath of it all. So really a big tangled web. But it looks like Ruby was ordered to do the hit. Make a name for yourself. You're going down anyway, so at least go out and make a name for yourself. Okay, we can't have this come out in the courts. We can't have Oswald on trial. Okay, so we need to make this go away. And Johnson says he's receptive to it because it got him in the White House. And it was a quick way for him to move up and move up with his career. Okay, into a place of prominence. So I'm going to leave this here. Oh my goodness, well that was an interesting question, and let me know what you think of this reading. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you online.